You're watching Around the Bay Sports. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and follow us on our Instagram page at Around the Bay Sports. Here are your hosts.
I'm Drew.
I'm Jack.
I'm Amon, and this is
Around.
The Bay.
Sports. Welcome for tuning in another great episode. We got some sports news we have just received. The NBA releasing their schedule. Got the rankings of the top 25. We're going to break it all down, what we feel like do they deserve that spot. And, of course, the NFL preseason week 1 just concluded, so we'll just get a little breakdown on our teams and overall of what we liked. But before we begin, I have a little promotion of a podcast that's in development, and the title we're going for is called Weirdo Universe. It's still in progress, but the general idea is if you guys want to know about like theories of movies and shows, my friend and I, my childhood friend that I've known for a while, we're gonna be like theorizing a lot, but as well as like throwing some like paranormal activities. Like there's still a lot of things we're brainwashing at the moment, but we will just give you a good aspect. So it's still a work in progress. We're still on the base, but make sure we'll let you know when it's complete, and hopefully you guys chime in. But further ado, let's get back to tonight's episodes. And yeah, let's get right to it. We got NBA. The NBA has scheduled the release. Not every team, but just on the big days of opening day and Christmas games. The opening day, starting off, is the OKC Thunder having their opening night against KD and the Rockets. So they're already keeping it a divisional battle, but keeping it close country. And what do you guys think? Durant's first game was against for the champs, I guess, the young team taking on Durant, and still a pretty young Rockets team. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as you guys have probably heard, my opinion still is pretty much the same about the Rockets. I don't think they're going to go to the championship or like to the Western Conference Finals, if anything. But I think the Rockets can be a very solid team. KD's the main veteran, and he's got the most experience of anyone on that team. And Rockets have a couple of other young guys, but they traded some of their key players in that trade for basically an old timer. But OKC Thunder, they won the championship. It was very clear. It was kind of obvious. And they were obviously the better team. But in speaking of this really, really early, I don't think the Thunder are going to go back-to-back. I've mentioned this before in the past. But I think that can be a very, very interesting matchup for the opener.
Drew, what's your take on the
opening? Like we all said, I don't think OKC is going back to back, but I think there's going to be a very good team that pretty much almost everyone. They pretty much have almost everyone on the team back for this coming season. But it's kind of funny that KD is watching the team that he grew up playing. KD, the team he was on earlier in his career, watching the team, getting the rings and seeing the banner lit up. It's kind of funny that he gets to his first game as a Rock is against the Thunder. I feel like Thunder and Rockets can have. Respect the rivalry between them, even though they're not in the same division. But I think it's going to be an interesting night. That KD's first game is against the Rockets. So yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I think like that just be a good, exciting matchup. Seeing Durant prime time. Sorry. Just seeing prime time against the Thunder, maybe a little challenge for even the champs itself if they can contain Durant, because he's still a great player. And yeah, I just feel like it will be a quite exciting way to kick it off. And now we go to the Christmas games. I just know one game in general: the Warriors.
Well, do we want to talk about the Warriors and Lakers opener?
Yeah.
Warriors. My bad. So yeah, thanks. So the next game, as you heard, Warriors, Lakers, LeBron and Curry. To kick it off, would it be the last time? Who knows? But the two greatest players that have pretty much carried the, from the 2000s to the mid 2010s, still showing their greatness of their skills and capabilities, and the good old rival of North against the South. For me, it is a very exciting game. It's great to see those two play out, because even the playoffs in general, like what happened when the Warriors took on the Lakers a couple years back. I mean, just seeing those two play, and even as for themselves, they're just like they have a great friendship as well. But when it comes to the game, you just love to see it. It's just your childhood is still out there, it's still alive, and hopefully the Warriors win, of course, kick it off 1-0. And Jimmy Butler haven't made his first taste of seeing Curry and LeBron going out on the court too. So, and you guys can chime in. What's your take? You like the game? You like the opener?
Well, it's a very typical matchup. It's been Warriors against the Lakers for most of the recent years, ever since LeBron's been on Lakers. I think it's a great matchup. I still don't really trust the Warriors because they didn't really do it. They still, to this day, haven't done anything in the offseason and haven't even fixed the Kuminga deal. And there's still no update on that. I heard he's going to stay, but after that, after the season, who knows? He's probably going to request a trade or his contract, but I don't know his contract situation. But the Lakers are also, this will be Luka's full year one being on the Lakers.
It was loaded.
He got traded midseason, but now this is his first opener being a Laker, and it's going to be very interesting to see. The battle between Steph and LeBron has been going on for years, and I mean Steph's been mainly kicking LeBron's ass in the playoffs, but well, we'll see how it goes in the opener. I hope the Dubs win, obviously, but I mean I don't like any team in LA, especially the Lakers. Anyone.
You feel like you agree about the whole childhood, it's just like those two guys still going at it.
They've been mainly going at it, like those two, I would probably say since 2015. So it's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years, and they could keep going.
It's honestly, I think it's arguably one of the greatest rivals of all time. And you got other rivals like Larry Bird and versus Magic Johnson, for example. That's honestly arguably one of the biggest ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, what's your take?
Yeah, I think I like the matchup, even though we already talked about the Warriors, but yeah, we like to see Curry and LeBron still battle around, even though they're getting the point there they might we might not see them in a long time. This is probably you might see them for I don't know how many times, but this we have to embrace the battle between LeBron and Curry. They've been going out, like Jack said, since 2015, ever since the finals 2015. So I feel like we have to embrace those battles again. So, but hopefully the Dubs can get the dub, start season 1-0. But we'll see. But overall it's a good matchup by the NBA. But
yeah, now let's get to our Christmas matchups. We got New York. They've been always having Christmas games for a few years now.
Yeah, they've actually always been the starters for Christmas.
Yeah, they've been the first 10 in the game. Who doesn't like an NBA game at 10 in the morning?
Yeah.
But
for me, it's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock for you, but yeah. Yeah, but they'll be hosting the Cavs. That'll be a good matchup, a good test. Mitchell and Brunson. I know the Cavs, they got their team pretty standard unless something crazy happens during this post-off season. But, yeah, Mitchell, because as we know, there was speculation long ago the Knicks could have drafted Mitchell, but he fell to Cleveland. And so it's just a bit for the Knicks fans to see Mitchell. I don't know if it's his first time in the Garden, but it's just now on Christmas Day, which is totally different. So what are your guys' takes like? What do you feel like? High scoring game? What do you see?
Well, I feel like it's going to be a battle mainly between Mitchell and Brunson. Now you got other key guys in there like Karl-Anthony Towns. You got Mikal Bridges, who just signed that major contract. You got also Jared Allen, I believe, and a couple other key guys on the Cavs like Evan Mobley. Darius Garland. So they can have a pretty solid team. They did not perform well in the playoffs, obviously, as we know. And the Knicks went into the Eastern Conference Finals and came up short against the Pacers again, which honestly, I think whenever the Knicks play the Pacers, it's going to be a very bitter rival, and there's going to be a lot of smack talking in those games. But this will be a good first game.
What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good first game. I feel like Jack said, Knicks always have a Christmas game at home in the Garden. So I feel like having a Christmas game in the Garden is always a nice ring to it. But you talk about if it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it will because Cavs, as you guys know, last year they were number one in points per game. I think over 120 points. Mike Brown's team, obviously, he's a new coach of the Knicks. He wants that team to be running. So especially in transition. So I think that game's a really high scoring game, but you can't really predict that until you see the actual game. But like Jack mentioned, the battle between Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson is going to be the talk of the night. But I think it's going to be a good first game.
Well, and then the next game that's been scheduled is the Champs the Thunder have a Christmas game. Hosting it, we take on Wemby and the Spurs with De'Aaron Fox, who just, did he got a little overpaid? We did have a little talks on that. But Fox and Wemby in OKC against the Champs, see what the records are with that. But, what do you guys take? A little battle of the South, a little Southern matchup once again for the Thunder.
Yeah. Well, I can't talk about De'Aaron Fox because I'm going to lose my mind again.
Yeah.
But this game between the Spurs with Victor Wembanyama, will be back. He had that blood clot injury. But for the Thunder, we just mentioned it. They have SGA, who actually just got I think he got a key to Canada or key to the city.
Hamilton,
something like that. But this should be another good matchup. It's very young. The Spurs have a young team. And I think the Spurs could actually be one of the most underrated threats to the Thunder in the West. So we'll see how this game goes. I think the Spurs could pull it off, but we'll only find out on Christmas Day.
Drew, what do you think?
I think everyone talks about the battle between Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. Who's the best between those two? Because they're both very skinny guards. Skinny people, but they both can block. And make shots. So. But I think it's going to be an interesting game. Like Josh said, they got SGA and then Jalen Williams. And then, obviously, Spurs got Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, all the young players. But, yeah, we got two young teams, going at it. And then, Victor Wembanyama versus Chet might be a rivalry. I'm just saying.
A comment from Makayla saying about reacting to Jack's crazy take is there's a little disagreement. Didn't think they could. That might be about. I think it was the.
It's about the NBA. He's talking about the Spurs and Thunder game.
Okay. So we have few more matchups. We'll go through real quick. Rockets, KD and LeBron. They're going to face each other on Christmas in LA with Luka. I feel like that's also a crazy stat. But yeah, good question. Good question. Let's backtrack real quick. So all the games we said, who you guys think should win? What do you got?
For the first game between the Cavs and the Knicks, I got the Knicks, and so far for the Spurs and Thunder, I just mentioned I have the Spurs.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I actually might go.
Thunder can't win them all.
Yeah, can't win them all, but I think for me, I'm actually going to go with Cleveland and the Thunder in those two matchups. Drew, what's yours?
I think the first game will be New York, and then the second game will be Thunder.
And yeah, I feel like, of course, as Warriors fans, we are rooting for Houston because we don't like the Lakers. But yeah, Durant and LeBron. We know those two. They've had some experience through their years of competition in this league. quick takes on just that as well. Either you, Drew or Jack, can answer.
Well, for the next game,
Rockets, Lakers.
Rockets and Lakers.
Well, this is going to be another old rivalry also between KD and LeBron, so this will be another really high-scoring game, I believe. Though the Rockets are better defensively. And with Luka also in the picture, I mean, I really want to say the Rockets are going to win this game, but I think the Lakers are going to win this game.
They do have some success in Christmas. It takes 6 hours. That game literally takes like 6 hours to finish. Drew, what do you think?
I think, like Jax mentioned, it's another battle between KD and LeBron, But, KD and LeBron haven't played a Christmas game battle since 2018, if you guys don't know. They haven't battled out since Christmas since 2018. They were supposed to play each other in 2021. KD, had something going on in 2021. That's why they haven't faced each other since 2018 for the Christmas battle. But, like I said, two old guys, we're gonna embrace the battles between those two players. But who I think out winning, Lakers been playing a lot of Christmas games compared to the Rockets, but I think the Lakers will win.
All right, then our next game, going with the Warriors. I don't know why. It's just like Jesse had this opinion. Shouldn't the Warriors play on Christmas? I know it's a pretty big thing that's been happening, but their matchup is against the Mavs because they want the Cooper Flag Curry get Cooper Flag a first taste. Taking on one of the greatest shooting point guards in this league. And of course, we're all gonna go for the Warriors. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Warriors? Do you like Warriors at Christmas Day, or is that starting to get a little dragged out?
I mean,
we all love Curry, but I don't know. I just felt like for me, I don't agree with Jesse. He had this little opinion about this. Like I don't know if seeing Warriors on Christmas is starting to get a little dragged out. I love watching the team, but for me, maybe we should take at least 1 year off.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of arguing against that because the Golden State Warriors still have one of the best players to ever play the game in Steph Curry, and you also have a really great defender in Draymond, and you also have one of the more touch players in recent NBA with Jimmy Butler. So I feel like it could still be a great matchup. Now with the Dallas, they have Anthony Davis, who's going to be 100% by then, and they also have Cooper Flag, who's going to be interesting, even though he's 18 years old. And Mavericks have Klay Thompson also. So this is another
I know. I get
little back and forth between former Bay and the games will be in the Bay Area. So Klay will obviously get a major standing ovation at the game. But, I mean, you're friends now, but you're enemies now. But long story short, Warriors are going to pull it off. There's just no question.
I know we're all going to go.
That's going to score like 30-something points, I'm predicting.
Well, you think a blowout?
I'm not thinking a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game, but I don't think Cooper Flag is going to do too much against the Warriors.
Well, it would be an interesting test for him. Drew, I know you can go with the Warriors, but I'm sorry. From Juan here, the Warriors are insane. And as the saying goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
All right. The thing is, the Warriors always play good. I mean, Warriors are always on complete. Like Jack mentioned, they have Steph Curry, and he's probably one of the high market players in the league. So I feel like they're trying to use the Warriors as a market strategy. As you guys don't know, and the talk of the NBA last season was the ratings, and I feel like having that having teams like the Warriors on Christmas is gonna hopefully they say improve the ratings. That was a talk of last year, but especially with the NFL trying to steal Christmas from the NBA, but
I was keeping that, but we'll see.
But I think the Warriors will win, hopefully. But I think the Warriors will win. Clay versus Steph Curry, battling each other. Obviously, Jack said they got Cooper Flag, Mavs got Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, many key role players in that team. But honestly, I wish Kyrie was there, but he's injured. He tore his ACL, so can't see that battle against him and Curry. But but hopefully, I think the Warriors will win. But
It's just, it still annoys me that the Warriors still haven't done anything. Like, they're still the only team to not make a single, not even sign up for like a vending machine. Like, they have done absolutely nothing. No players signed, no coaches signed, no contract extension, no trades. They have literally just, like, a 2-year-old could do more than what the Warriors are doing.
But we
The
know
Warriors have no progress. I don't care what their money situation is. You got to do something, because if you sit back and do nothing, your team is not. First off, the Warriors are not. I don't think the Warriors are going to make the playoffs this year. I think they're either going to be just a play-in team or they're going to miss the playoffs. I don't care that you got, because the Warriors, Jimmy Butler is in his late 30s. The same with Draymond. The same with Curry. They're getting too old. I think they may have the oldest team in basketball. And the crazy thing is the Thunder have the youngest team in basketball. And they won the championship last year. And that usually doesn't happen for very, very young teams. But the thing is, the Warriors still got to do something. They can't just sit and watch the world go by and just they have to do something.
Well, Juan agrees, but shout out to Jesse. He feels like NFL has already won Christmas, and reacting to what Jesse reacting to what you said. Sorry.
Okay, someone's got to mute that, whoever that is.
My bad. Well, hang on. Jesse actually might chime in here, folks. So the whole crew is back together. But let's get to our next. Oh well, we got T-Wolves and the Nuggets. Just a quick take. Who you got?
In this matchup, I got the Timberwolves winning this one. I think Anthony Edwards is gonna have a great game. I think he's gonna like Steph, or maybe a little bit better. He'll score in his 30s or 40s points. But it's gonna be a very tight game. It's gonna be very close because the Nuggets still have Jokic, who's one of the best players in basketball, arguably top 3. But this will probably be the tightest game of Christmas.
Who's here? Jesse is.
Oh, what's up, Jesse?
What's up, Jesse?
Everyone. Sorry, I'm
No
not
logo. No logo. Shame you.
No, I'm in the car right now. I'm not at my studio right now,
Jesse,
but
on the go here, folks.
What do you think about the games that we mentioned?
Yeah, what's your quick
What's-
overview?
who you got winning? On the matchup we talked about.
I think it's too early to tell still, but I am interested in the opening matchup between the Warriors and the Mavs. And Jack, I want to speak on your point for a second about the Warriors not
Well,
making
the openers, Warriors and Lakers. Christmas.
Lakers, my bad.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, the Warriors cannot make a move until Jonathan Kuminga either signs his contract or
No, you can still
is
make
traded.
a move on him though. Even if you sign him or trade him, they still haven't done anything.
he's not signing the contract. That's the issue.
Because we did offer him a deal, but
And why doesn't he officially request a trade?
I don't know.
Why doesn't he just do that and move on with another team?
He's a free agent, though.
He has requested a trade, but the Warriors still control his rights until I guess another two more seasons.
Honestly, I've been a Warriors fan for many, many years. This is the messiest offseason I think I've ever seen for the Warriors.
Welcome to management of the NBA.
I blame the NBA for this because they added a second apron where they made it harder for teams to spend money. So every team has to wait to make a deal. They made it so teams cannot win multiple NBA championships.
All right. Well, Jesse, if we have you real quick, apparently the college football rankings has just came out. And, well, it's a pretty somewhat broad list. Ohio State is ranks number 4, but for Notre Dame, no matter the season they had in the championship and lose, I figured maybe they should be just below them. They have 5, but no, they're at ranked number 6, and of course, Jack and Drew, hardcore Irish fans. I know Jack, he's steaming right now, just that. So this is the quick take on that. The Irish at rank number 6. I know for you guys, they should be a lot higher. I know it's like the SEC stuff. They always go with that more, like Georgia. Like they go for like Georgia like practically all the time. Now they added Texas at number 1, which is like there's so much hype just because of a Manning giving pressure on a man. Think they're gonna like win the title or something, and it's just crazy. But just real quick take on the Notre Dame at number 6. Jack, go ahead.
Okay, I think college football has there are too much of bendovers for the SEC. Like you got Texas at number 1. First off, Texas at number 1 is complete nepotism because Arch Manning is going to be their starter. That's because of Peyton Manning and Eli Manning.
The man.
But you got Penn State at 2, who also lost to Notre Dame, which makes absolutely no sense to me. It's literally the similar situation as Jake Moody's situation that me and Jesse talked about, I believe it was a week ago. It's like you get rewarded, and then you get rewarded for failing. At Penn State lost in the Orange Bowl against Notre Dame. Notre Dame beat them, and it was by like 3 points. But you got Ohio State, who won the championship against Notre Dame last year, and they're number 3. Clemson didn't even come close, and they're 4.
Yeah, they're at 4.
And Georgia's number 5, and Notre Dame kicked Georgia's ass in the playoffs, and they're number 5. And you got Notre Dame number 6. First, God knows that Notre Dame should be number 1. I don't give a damn what you say about Ohio State, but
I'm sorry, Ohio State's number 3.
I would do honestly, the real case scenario, I would have Ohio State number 1. I would have Notre Dame number 2. This is blasphemous. This is the most disrespect. Maybe it's because they're a Catholic school. I don't know. But this is completely disrespectful. Notre Dame is one of the best football programs across the country. And then first week, they got a Catholics versus convicts game against University of Miami. And I hope to God the Notre Dame wins that.
Yeah, right. At this point, Notre Dame in this disrespect, they better just go undefeated at this point. Drew.
Yeah, they better beat everybody's ass that they play against.
Drew, you're steaming like a bull. What do you think?
Steaming like a bull.
I think the AP poll is biased on SEC and Big Ten schools. You know, they like to have bias on those. That's probably the 2 biggest conference in college football. But just because Notre Dame is technically independent, they're not in a conference.
I feel like it's Notre Dame being punished since they didn't decide what conference. They left the ACC, and now it's like they didn't want to go in, so they become independent. And this it's just insane. I feel like Irish number 1 or at least top 3 or top 5.
I think Notre Dame should be number 2 and Ohio State number 1 because I think I think the AP people are just glazing Arch Manning, glazing him so bad. But I think Ohio State will eventually beat Texas, in the first matchup. But I don't think Arch Manning's a Heisman candidate. I don't think he's a Heisman candidate at this point, Like, they just use his last name for clicks and views, clicks and views, But, I think Notre Dame should be top 2. I mean, top 3, top 2 at least, Just because the season they had, even though they went to the national championship, they beat pretty much the team the team that are ranked ahead in the playoffs. They're so biased in the SEC and Big Ten schools, just so much bias and so much glazing in them.
Yeah, it's like
can I say one more thing?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here's what all you out there don't know. So for the first time in betting history, Texas is playing against Ohio State this on August 30th. So that's 19 days from now. And Texas is ranked as the underdogs, and they're number 1. That has never happened before in the history of college football. And yet you put them at number 1 and not Ohio State?
You know what I think what they're trying to
Honestly,
do?
I think all the people that do this stuff need to be drug tested.
I feel like
there's
this
like
is more,
a gift here and a bribe there. So I don't know what's going on.
I think this is more of a rage bait for us to react to this. I think they want Ohio State to beat Texas, then Ohio State goes to 1, Texas falls probably there like down to like 7 or 8, 9 or 10 or like even further depending on all the other upsets. I think this is just rage bait for us to take. Seeing Texas at number 1, surely, I mean, Ohio State, they're great at home, except for Michigan. They always beat them. But I think it's just rage bait. It's just like we're taking this as the Archie Manning approach, going to Ohio State. That stadium's hectic, and it's just they're giving Archie Manning they're giving Manning a test. Probably will lose, and Ohio State gets number 1, and then we'll see what happens. But let's get to the other.
Like, if we see one more thing, if we see Arch Manning play, well, he's going to obviously be the starter, and he throws like a couple interceptions, no touchdowns, and he plays horrible, then the people that did this are going to realize how much of the biggest idiots they are in the sports industry.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. But that's our just tangent of just those top. Here's the other teams. We got Penn State at 2, Clemson at 4, Georgia at 5. We know about Notre Dame. Oregon's at 7, Bama's at 8, with LSU, Miami, Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, Florida, SMU, Kansas State, the Aggies of Texas A&M, Indiana, Mississippi, Iowa State, Tennessee, and Boise State. For Boise State, I guess it's like a friendly game, like a friendly invitation pretty much, just to be in the top 25. Just seeing a team from the Mountain West had a battle with Penn State. I mean, I saw that game. That was really exciting.
The only reason they like this is because like you thought of like Aston Jeanty. If he never went there, Boise State wouldn't have been in the conversation. Maybe Utah would be 25, or dare I say this as BYU. I mean, it's just some of these rankings don't make any sense. Like Indiana had a great year last year. They shouldn't be ranked though after that because that year was just a lucky year. I mean, Ole Miss is low. Iowa State's kind of low. Texas Tech's too low. Tennessee's really low. I'm surprised you put Kansas State on here because they're mid. Oklahoma's a college school, but SMU? And folks, we're not talking about St. Mary's. We're talking about Southern Methodist. I'm surprised they're even in the top 25. I'm surprised they're even in the conversation.
Yeah, it's just like like Arizona State, they're kind of like Boise State in a way. I mean, they had a really good season under their new head coach. Got one of the players being an NFL star. I mean, it's great Arizona State just outside the top 10. And, Florida, I feel like they should move it up a bit. South Carolina, I don't know too much about them. But yeah, honestly, Arizona State should maybe be 18. Oklahoma, I don't think they have really had too much success lately. I know it's the Booner Sooner. It's probably just SC. Well, no, they're Big 12 now. No, they're SEC. They're SEC. But
also another thing about this ranking is I see LSU at number 9. I think LSU should be ranked much lower.
Yeah.
1, because they kept choking last year, and 2, Brian Kelly's a bum for leaving Notre Dame. So shout out to Marcus Freeman for being the Notre Dame head coach.
But yeah, it's just I know this is of course it will shift during the regular season, but just seeing this, I feel like it's a bit broad of just kind of just throwing in there based on season and stories. And so on. But yeah, like that. There's our takes for the rankings. I know it's just pretty much mainly on Notre Dame and Ohio State. Everything else is just.
And I just saw another thing. So Fresno State, who can sometimes be pretty decent, the starting quarterback is going to be E.J. Warner, who's the son of the NFL Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. And
Oh,
you
wow.
don't put him in the top 25, but you put a guy who's the cousin, I believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, of Peyton Manning, and you got him ranked at number 1 when he hasn't even proved himself yet.
Yeah, I think it's
This
just
makes no sense to me.
or from Jesse.
There is a major nepotism problem here.
Yeah, or just giddy up. But yeah, Jesse, saying that that's what Shedeur was hated for, and because of the name. So Archer's name just praised since he is.
Honestly, could be a little race involved in that, but yeah.
But let's get to the real. We're gonna like the real story today. Preseason has concluded. Well, my Packers. I have something to say. I know Jack and Drew, they have something to say about the Niners. But let's talk about the Raiders. Their first game in Seattle, and it ended on a tie. But the most exciting news was the 7th-round quarterback out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance. When he came in the 4th, it was just, for me as a Raider fan, it was just astonishing. Like, the deep pass he threw was so perfect. It was right in the breadbasket for a touchdown. He's a little small, but he does maneuver quite well. And I know Jesse might want to chime in on his takes on just the Raiders. But for me, just seeing that, like, I don't know, Brady might have got involved. We might have drafted a Brady for the Raiders. Who knows? We'll see as the years go on. And for Aiden O'Connell, I don't know what's going on with you, but 1 and 2 picks against like 3rd string, 4th string backups. I don't know if you're getting nerves, but you did play a little sloppy in that. I mean, you had the most reps, which is good, help you just see your growth, but definitely a little bit of a decline. But we'll go with you, Drew or Jack. I know your Niners gave up 30 points and only got 9 in return. Yeah, Drew, go ahead. I know this is the preseason, so we're not going to try to get all tangent, but for my Packers too, it was a bit of a rough look.
First of all, I'm going to talk about the Raiders game. First of all,
yeah,
that game was interesting. I watched the whole game. It's Cam Newton, by the way, not Trey Lance, by the way. If the Raiders fans who watched the game.
I just know Cam Miller came out of the same college as Trey.
Yeah. Same one. He went to the same college as Trey. Yeah. But, I watched the whole game. The Raiders were down 13. Yes, I get it. It's a preseason game,
And that's the Raiders, how they do it. They always go down big.
So they're down 13. Aiden O'Connell didn't look good. He had 2 interception. Like, I think the first 2 drives he had. But and then he came back stronger, got a touchdown. And then I think he got a field goal in the next drive. So he kind of did a little better. I think he kind of settled in after halftime. But Cam Miller, let's talk about I forget who's their RB, like the 3rd string RB, but he did pretty good for Raiders. He got some yards, and I think he got the tackle on the kickoff. So shout out to him. I don't know who he is, but
I also like the adjustment of Jamal Adams playing linebacker. He's always a safety, but we know, knowing Jamal Adams, when he sees a target, he hits them. And we still see that, from the Seattle Seahawks days. I mean, he's excited just being a Raider, but just the plays he took. This is a first switch of him trying to be linebacker as a test, and I like it. But Jack, what do you take on the Raiders?
Well, I didn't watch the full game, but all I saw was I watched a couple and I saw when they tried to make the field goal was blocked. And once I saw that happen, I'm like, typical Raiders.
Yep, that's the Raider way.
The city might be different, but the methods never change. It's always funny, but I want to talk about. We haven't really probably had this run over our heads, but I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders and how the Browns played. Shedeur Sanders played very impressive this weekend. He passed for 14 of 23. He passed for 138 yards. He passed for 2 touchdown passes. And according to certain statistics, I heard he played 10 drives. 3 of them were touchdowns. 2 of them he threw. 1 of them he handed off to his running back. I think he had a very impressive debut. And I think the Browns should – honestly, I think the Browns should make him the starter still because he's proved himself in training camp and he proved himself in the preseason. Now, sure, you're playing against the Panthers and backup guys, but at the end of the day, he's still proving himself worthy of being the starter. I mean, sure, you're starting for the Cleveland Browns, but I mean, you're starting for the Cleveland Browns. You're starting for an NFL team. That would be a dream come true. He did very well. They won their game 30-10.
Yeah, I mean, like I saw little highlights. I mean, there were some like moments where like he'd scramble around the pocket and like, you know, he tried just a little dump offs and, you know, sometimes he overfloats it a little bit. And there's just like, you know, moments where he's like a little off target on throws, but that can be easily fixed. But just seeing how he played, he's already at least getting a little comfortable, getting comfortable right now. We'll see in the last 2 games. But yeah, I agree. I feel like Browns, I know Watson was a bit of a letdown, but you guys haven't had a good quarterback in quite some time. And I feel like you might get one here with Shedeur. Drew, what do you think on Shedeur Sanders, how he played, how he looked?
Yeah, pretty impressive from him. You know, like Jack mentioned, you know, 14-23, 138 yards, got 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I think did pretty well. Hopefully he's their starting QB going forward. But just again, like Jack said, it's just a preseason. We'll see what happens in the next 2 games. But hopefully, you know, he gets to prove himself wrong again, prove them wrong again. So.
All right. But yeah, let's get to our teams. So the Raiders, you know, Jesse had his takes thinking AOC lost his job. And about that missing kick that you rather have.
Remind me who AOC is.
Who?
Remind me who AOC is.
Ian O'Connell.
Oh, Ian O'Connell. Okay. Call him AOC. That's interesting. Okay.
Just abbreviation.
Just abbreviation for his name.
Jesse Erg is trying to get on Jackson Nerds saying that's.
I mean, Geno Smith was going to be the starter anyway.
Oh yeah, he's going to be a starter, but I just feel like since O'Connell,
or you just get rid of him, then.
I just feel like just seeing that quarterback on his first few snaps in that fourth quarter, it looked very promising. Maybe we'll hope to get back to it. But Jesse, just to get on Jack's nerve, he said that you'd rather have Moody than Carlson.
Yeah, sure, whatever you say. I would blame the blocking too. The blocking wasn't really that good.
Yeah.
Or the setup, or the snap also, or the setup off the snap was not good at all.
Yeah, all that mishaps we can hopefully easily fix. But let's get to our teams, the Packers and the Niners. We'll just go with the Niners. So they gave up 30 points to the Broncos. And I know it's the preseason. Robert Saleh back back with the Niners. We know how he works, how his schemes are. But it was a bit ugly giving up 30 points and only bring up 9. Yeah, this is the preseason, so you know this is where fixes have happened. But low preseason opener, losing by that much. What are your guys' takes?
Well,
like what do you see?
I mean, it is preseason, so it's nothing too concerning. But I'm turning my head a little bit because they turned the ball over 5 times. You've got picked off by 3 different quarterbacks. Mac Jones threw an interception, Carter Bradley threw an interception, Tanner Mordecai threw an interception, who also just got released today, by the way.
Okay.
But I'm not worried about that because Brock Purdy is going to obviously be the guy. But Mac Jones, in case Brock Purdy gets hurt, Mac Jones is going to have to be the guy. But
what do you think on Mac? I know it's early, but like
he played fairly well. I mean, he didn't really pass too much. He only passed 4-7 on 74 yards, averaging almost 11 yards per pass, I believe. It's like 10.6, I think, specifically.
11.
But he was also sacked twice, and Tanner Mordecai was sacked once. So you get 3 sacks. And I heard the offensive lineman was not good in the game. That was that's the part I'm going to keep an eye on. That's been the biggest issue for the Niners for recent years, their linemen. If this continues to be an issue, then McCaffrey is going to get slaughtered in the backfield. And there's no chance he's going to succeed, and neither will this team. But for the rest of the team, it looked all right. I mean, sure, you give 30 unanswered points, which is not a
like I didn't see a clip, but there was a picture of like Niners secondary completely confused, leaving the receiver wide open. I don't know when.
Yeah, that was bad defense.
Boy.
But then again, you're not playing with your main starters. You're playing with your backup guys who probably aren't going to be seen in the field. Because right now there's like 90 guys, and I think only 53 make the roster. But I was impressed with Jordan Watkins. But the only issue with him is he's going to be out for a month because he got hurt, which is another big problem for the Niners. Niners have might as well create an entire area at Levi Stadium and call it sick bay, because all their guys keep getting hurt. However, they signed Jeff Wilson Jr., who used to play for the Niners, and now he's back in the Niners uniform. So he'll likely be the backup to McCaffrey, and we'll see how Isaac Guerrero does, who I hope has a really good year. Juwan Jennings still having his contract issue. He did a light workout today, even in spite of him being a little bit hurt with his calf injury. Also, the breaking news, though, we just got the unfortunate word that Brandon Ayuk will not be back until week 6.
Okay.
So that's going to be a little while. So I think the Niners should focus on signing a couple of receivers, whoever are available, like Amari Cooper, for example, just to get a guy in there.
Wait, what's the Niners bye week this year?
Their bye week, folks, give me a quick moment. This should not take very long.
Do you know the Niners bye week?
Let me check. Let me double check.
If not, it's all right.
Yeah, I don't have it on the top of my head. I'll need a few minutes, but you guys can keep talking.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But, okay. Well, Drew, what's your take? What do you think looked well? Just go overview so
far. Obviously Brock Purdy didn't play. The starters didn't really mainly play because it was mainly backups and third stringers. I mean, I'm not really concerned about them. Like Jack said, those things aren't going to be fixed. Yeah, I feel like they're little nerves on the players because probably their first time playing football in a long time. But
by the way, sorry to interrupt. Their bye week is week 14.
Okay, so you got. I mean, Ayuk definitely a big piece to that offense. At least for this deep, at least a good deep threat. So yeah, Niners are a bit rough at the moment. But continue, Drew.
Yeah, but Mac Jones and Brandon, all the quarterbacks, throwing interceptions. It's just obviously, not ideal thing, but most quarterbacks are gonna have bad games and good games, But it's just preseason, so I'm not really concerned. Obviously, offensive linemen, that's always a big concern for us. If it's gonna keep happening, I don't think we'll be much successful with, like Jack said, with McCaffrey in the backfield. So. And obviously, another wide receiver down. So, obviously, the Niners are playing the Raiders this week. So, hopefully that it'll be a much cleaner games for both teams. So,
yeah, I feel like the Raiders dropping 23. I'm like, all right, that's good enough. But
yeah,
we'll see. As an opener in the desert of Las Vegas, it will be a pretty little battle. It was once the Battle of the Bay, now it's just the Battle of the West, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But before I go to my Packers, a thought came to mind. Do you know someone made a 70-yard field goal?
Yes, I was going to mention that.
He was on the Jags. He was on
the Jags. I forgot his nickname. He has a nickname. But, yeah, a Jags kicker hit a 70-yarder, and this is just the preseason. We know Justin Tucker. He was known breaking records. But just seeing a young kicker with the Jags already showing how much power he has. Just for, I don't know if this was his first kick or one of many of what
Yeah,
he
it was a
had.
kick before halftime, he's a rookie.
And he's a rookie, so it's like it's just these kickers, they deserve praises too. Just like showing the
Yeah,
accuracy.
Cam Little, 70-yard field goal. That's actually the unofficial longest field goal in NFL history.
Yeah, so it's like we might already have the next Justin Tucker. But now
Yeah,
to my
as long as he didn't do that other thing that Tucker got arrested in trouble for. But yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. What do you guys think about Travis Hunter debut? Like what do you think about his debut?
I feel like Hunter just needs. He's thinking of college because he did get juked or stiff armed pretty heavily against the Steelers. So just in this NFL, players are a lot quicker. And I don't know, I didn't see any highlights, so I don't have anything really to say. But I just feel like he just needs to adjust.
Yeah, I saw he played a couple snaps on defense, but he was mainly on offense. The only thing is, though, he only caught 2 catches for 9 yards, but besides that, he has no highlights whatsoever in that game after.
I just feel like he just needs to maybe slow down or try to hopefully warm up into of the NFL. But
he'll get more into it. And he'll get used to it throughout.
Yeah, we have 2 more games. We'll get to hopefully see some highlights. But now to my Packers. So I know LaFleur did say he's going to try to do 4 quarterbacks in this game. And I was just like, And, well, he did. And you saw what happened. Lately, my Packers had made 10 points over 9. But, yeah, it was a bit ugly. I mean, Love, 1 for 5, 7 yards to the first-round receiver, Golden.
And he got sacked, too. That's not a good look.
It's all about, first star of our teams, except for the Raiders, but a little more.
Honestly, that's why I'm glad the Niners did not play Purdy or any of their main guys, because you could be in risk of injury. And honestly, Matt LaFleur kind of put Jordan Love in that type of risk.
Yeah, he did.
That's the risk, that's the risk you cannot afford.
Yeah, he did say to do 4 quarterbacks. I'm just like,
I would have just done 3.
Do 3, do 2, or don't even start Love. I mean, Malik Willis, 4 for 9, 39 yards. Okay. But I was a little impressed. This player from Wilked Laurier College, never heard of this, but he was the most average, the highest average so far of 6 yards, only throwing 3 passes for only 24. And I was just seeing that was a little promising. I feel like just seeing that, maybe he should be at least a good third string behind Love and Willis. And then Clifford going for 2 for 4 for 14 with about 4 yards. And the running was good. The name's not coming to my head, but he went for 7 carries, 67 yards. Golden got the catch, at least 1 grab for 7, but it was Jordan Love. I like to see that. I do like to see that getting that connection early. I mean, yeah, it was ugly just all around, but it's just I don't know any QB. I don't know any coach ever thought of doing 4 QB, just playing it all. I know you're trying to be like, okay, we see you got this, but as all the teams do, they just do 2, maybe 3. But doing a full 4 is just I don't really like that sort of approach. I mean, I understand to see the development more, but it's like I don't know. I just hope sure, I like to see Taylor a little bit more. Love, don't take a snap, please. Give Willis some rest.
Here's another head turner for me, though.
Yeah.
For this Jets and Packers game, first off, you guys blown out the Jets. I wouldn't worry about that one.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I mean, Fields did pretty good.
Sometimes here's what people need to know. Here's what people need to understand. The preseason is just for other guys who can prove that they belong in the roster. Okay? Great.
Yeah.
The Jets are going to be a bad team this year. The Packers are going to be a really good team this year. Sure, they got blown out by the Jets, but it's only preseason. They didn't put their starting guys. Same thing for the Niners. They didn't do it either. If the Niners would have played the Broncos with all their guys, the Broncos would have gotten their ass kicked, and the Packers would have kicked the Jets' ass. But the head turner for this, for me, is the total yards. The Jets had 403 yards in total. Packers only had 188.
Yeah,
that's a head turner for me.
Yeah, that is a head scratcher. I just feel like the 4 QB. I don't like. I heard LaFleur said that that's what he was planning on. I'm just like, it's just a bit of head scratching, a little nagging for me. I don't think I've heard every coach does that. Play the whole QBs. Just like, I get the reason, but it's just keep it 2 or 3. That's all I ask. Rest Love, But yeah, I mean, like, I don't have any strong. As you say, this is the preseason. You make mistakes, and another QB. Now go to another team of a QB that got traded up to. Well, got the Giant. This is from the Giants trading up for the number 1 pick. Not number 1 pick. Sorry, first round pick, and that was pretty much the next Eli Manning, as what the Giants see. The QB from Mississippi. Sorry, the name's not coming to me, but
Jackson
Dart.
Yeah, Dart. He looked pretty promising. I mean, I don't have those stats, but hearing, like, I just saw like a caption just about how he played. It seems like we knew the Giants were going to trade up anyway. We weren't sure it was Dart. I mean, not Dart. I don't know. Dart or Shedeur. That was that whole thing during the draft. What they were going to do. They went for the Mississippi guy. But yeah, like, what do you guys think on Dart? How he played? Like, I don't know if you count any highlights, but just like, does he look promising for the Giants?
I mean, for maybe the Giants drafted him because of the way he plays, and that's why they didn't draft Shedeur Sanders. I don't honestly know, but I still think Shedeur Sanders did better. I'm not glazing him or anything. I'm just saying he just played better than him. But Jackson Dart still looked pretty impressive out there. He carried the ball 3 times. He ran for 24 yards, 12 of 19 passing, 154 yards, 8 yards per 8 yards average, and he threw a touchdown. And a rating of 106, which is really good. I think it could be promising for the Giants. I mean, it's going to be obvious that Russell Wilson is going to be the guy. But maybe Russell Wilson might do this for a couple of years, and then Jackson Dart takes over, and then he becomes another Eli Manning, or better.
Yeah, maybe better. I mean, I think he came out of Eli Manning camp, or the Manning camps with Day and Eli. I think he was a student there learning from them. But Drew, just what's your quick take on how you think? Does he look promising for the Giants since the move they made when they made that decision?
Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty good. He looked very promising, I like Jack said, 12, 19, 154 yards. Threw a touchdown. So, I mean, he did pretty impressive that most people would have credited him. But, I mean, I think I hope that's their future quarterback. So, hopefully, they don't waste a talent like him. So, that's one thing the Giants don't do well is wasting talent. So, I mean, they waste talent. So,
hopefully, this is a promising for them.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But I want to
Cam Ward.
I want to talk about Frank Gore Jr. for the Bills. Obviously, the son of Frank Gore. He played extremely well in this Bills game I'm looking at. Sure, he had 5 carries for 20 yards, but he also had 5 catches for 50 yards.
Okay.
That's not something to overlook. He could have a potential. I mean, he's obviously not going to be the starter on the Bills, but he could potentially be a big-time role player, unless hopefully the Niners take it from him. But that could be promising for the Bills.
I mean, like, I wonder if maybe he could do special teams. Maybe with this, like, I mean, I know Frank Gore. He was definitely a bulldog for the Niners in the NFL. But with his strength, he definitely had quite some speed. So, yeah, we wish for him the best, and that will conclude our episode. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy our takes. Thanks for the comments chiming in. But we appreciate you coming in. See you this Wednesday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern. Jesse, hope we see you soon. I know you're busy moving in. But hopefully we get to see you at some point. But thanks for chiming in. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, guys, you have anything else to say?
Also, follow us on Instagram at AroundBaseSports. That's all I got. And hopefully see you all Wednesday. Have a good night.
Jack,
Yeah,
anything else?
thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all of our viewers and all of our supporters. And if you ever want to have a personal debate, DM us on one of our accounts, or our personal, or our Around the Bay Sports account. But thanks to everyone showing up, and hope you all have a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you next episode. Thanks for tuning in.